Yes, hello everybody, it's Ray from Race United and I'm back again, and you know how we do this. I'm having a little glare on my eyes, so that's the screen, that's the light thing, but don't worry about it. Just listen to what I'm saying and then look at the glare on my glasses. Hey, so Pi Network has become something else. It's become a phenomenon and a lot of people are talking about it. Everywhere you go, when is Pi Network gonna launch? When is the mainnet going to be this? When is it going to be on the exchanges? Well, some exchanges have already started making plans for it anyway. But the main thing I'm going to talk about here is about the fact that we already have a revolution, which is the cryptocurrency as a whole, which governments can't stand. Now, the evolution of the revolution is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to tell you what the evolution is. All right? And once you get to know the evolution, you will stay on board for the rest of your life and you will not depend on any handouts from any government. Do you know what I'm saying? So, before we do anything, smash that like button, smash the subscriber button, share the content, notification buttons as well. Join the channel. I keep saying it. Join the channel. We're doing big things here. The future looks bright, just like Pi Network. All right? The evolution of the evolution of a revolution. I will be right back. So I'm back and I'm going straight to the point. I'm going to talk about the revolution of money. So the revolution of money, first and foremost, what do you think money is? Money is which is fiat currency, is what we use to buy or to exchange goods and services, with. So that's what we use. Every country's got its own currency. They've got denominations in coins and in physical cash. However, there is one thing that we all have to talk about. Because when you look at currency, fiat currency as a whole, the value of it has always gone down. As much as some countries may think their value is up, it's a myth. You get what I'm saying? And physical cash can sometimes be detrimental to us as individuals. Do you know what I mean? So there is the revolution happened. Now that revolution was cryptocurrency. And who initiated that? Bitcoin. Bitcoin initiated the revolution. And when Bitcoin did that, it did that for a few years. I don't want to go into the history of Bitcoin because that's not what this is about. This is about the evolution or an evolution of the revolution. Well, that's actually the caption. Let me see. It's a revolution or an evolution of the revolution. Whichever one it is, don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? I will still get the caption right when it comes to the thumbnail. But whatever it is, not English language here, is what you understand. So, the evolution of a revolution. Now, this is the evolution, Pi Network. And Pi Network is going to teach people where we're at with cryptocurrency. Do you know what I mean? So, as I go into this video is going to be slightly longer, slightly more detailed. And so just listen, watch, and enjoy it, because a lot of people have just looked at the surface of cryptocurrency, particularly Pi. A lot of people have looked at the surface. They haven't gone into details. They've come in for the short-term gain and not for the long-term, work. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to explain it, break it down for you so you understand. So, money has evolved thanks to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has done that. But Bitcoin did that with difficulties because a lot of people didn't believe in that. And of course, governments weren't supporting that. Wealthy people weren't supporting it, which meant that it had to tread very carefully while it was gaining ground. Now, as it gained ground, a few cryptos began to emerge. Ethereum came, Litecoin came, and all the others followed. Do you know what I mean? XRP, all the others followed. But they had a problem. Decentralization became a problem, and of course, mobile phone usage became a problem. A lot of people couldn't really mine properly for cryptos. And of course, the protocols that were used were also slightly different and a little bit more cumbersome. So this is where Pi Network came in. You understand what I'm saying? And Pi Network came in. I'm going to talk to you about the first ever mobile cryptocurrency. I'll be right back. So back in 2019, I wasn't really an enthusiast about cryptocurrency, to be honest. I wasn't an enthusiast at all. I never really was into it. I had friends who tried to introduce me to Bitcoin at the time, but I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested. And when I'm not interested in something, there is nothing you can do to convince me. I'm difficult at that. But I do my research first. So I did my research on Bitcoin, read a bit of their white paper, and understood it. But I still wasn't interested. And then somebody else introduced me to Pi. Now, when I saw it, the fact that I'll be able to use mobile phone to mine it, I was like, goodness me, I can do this. So what did I do? I started mining, read the white paper, read the frequently asked questions, FAQs, and then I got the hang of it. So I started inviting people, family members, friends, people I know, inviting them. And this is back in September 2019. So that's about 6 months into when it was. So they had about 450,000 people. Listen, everything I'm saying is not scripted. I'm saying from my head, and that's the truth. So I did that. Now, I'm talking about the first ever mobile cryptocurrency. That is the Pi Network. Pi, as we call it. The resident crypto is Pi, and Pi Network is obviously the whole network, which we are all part of. Now, so when I joined Pi Network, we've been studying this. Now, Pi Network per se looked promising to me. The fact that there was a core team with their pictures and their background there. At the time, it was three. You had Vincent Mark Phillips, you had Chen Zhao Fan, and you have Nicholas Kokalis. So I'm thinking, okay, these three guys, the three musketeers, as it were at the time, they come in and they have a chat with us, via the chat section. Sometimes they release videos on our home screen on the app. So there were times when I was so enthusiastic about, these people are dating us, and it went on and on. You understand what I'm saying? But at the time when I joined, it was 450,000 pioneers back in September 2019. You get me? So Pi clearly at the time was growing at a rate that was exponential. But how exponential, nobody knew. You get what I'm saying? Nobody knew. But the one thing I need you to remember is Pi is and will continue to be the very first ever mobile cryptocurrency. I'll be right back. So in this particular segment, I'm going to talk about the journey of Pi. Now, the journey of Pi all came about because when the three musketeers, as I call them, Vincent, Nicholas, and Chen Zhao Fan, when they came together, they decided that it wasn't launched back in December 2018, but they released it. They released they released the white paper then. You understand? And then back on Pi Day, which is March 14th, 2019, they officially launched Pi Network. So at the time, they quickly got 1,000 pioneers. They started with 3.16 base mining rate. You understand what I'm saying? Then obviously it evolved to nearly 1.58, and then it went to 0.8, which is 0.79, and then it went to 0.395, which is 0.4, and then it went to 0.2, which is where we are right now as we speak. So 0.2 mining rate, we've gone through that, and all logarithmically increasing as it goes with the logarithmic increase of pioneers. So from 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000 to 1 million to 10 million. So this time around, it will not follow that logarithmic trend. It's going to follow the KYC trend. So once we get to mass KYC, or if at the time of this release we're already in KYC, then you would realize that it would have moved from 0.2 to 0.1 mining rate, base mining rate. And then of course, if we get to 100 million pioneers, 100 million pioneers, it would also go down to 0.05, or probably they'll end mining. We don't know about that yet. It's not been communicated yet. So this has been the journey of Pi in summary. I don't want to make the video too long because it will be boring. I thought it was going to be long, but I've summarized everything. So the journey of Pi has been more or less rugged. However, okay, so this is how we started. So once that happened, we got to Pi Day, the first year, which is 1 year after Pi was established, or Pi was launched, 14th March or March 14th, 2020. Testnet was launched. Testnet was launched. Now, when Testnet launched, at that very same time, we got to 3.5 million pioneers. Previously, we got to 1 million in December 2020, and that was just 9 months after it was launched. So you can imagine how exponential the growth was becoming. And then in December 2020, we got to 10 million. You get what I'm saying? December 2020, we got to 10 million pioneers. And then, of course, by the time we got to mainnet, which is the open, the enclosed network, we had hit 30 million. So within a year, we've gone from 10 million to 30 million. That's an exponential growth. That's a doubling of growth. Unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? So the journey of Pi has been rugged. So as I speak right now, in this video, as I speak, we are in the enclosed network. Whether or not KYC is out, it depends. But this video is recorded as at the time when KYC has not been released. If KYC is released at the time I release this video, then you know. You get what I'm saying? So the journey of Pi, albeit rugged, has been relatively smooth in my perspective. You get what I'm saying? In my opinion. You know, so I have loved every bit of it. I've invited quite a few people, or quite a substantial amount of people relatively, that I feel is enough for me, and I keep communicating with them to ensure that they keep mining. So it's been great, guys. It's been great. The next segment, I'm going to talk about the future of Pi. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. This is Ray from Race United. Smash that like button, don't forget, and also share the content. We want everybody to get a hang of this whole thing that we're trying to do here. Anyway, so the future of Pi. Now, everything that has a past has a present and definitely has a future, whether it's a foreseeable future or a not so foreseeable future. In my opinion, in the foreseeable future, Pi is going to be a phenomenon. However, what I see is the future of Pi will be dependent on what we as pioneers do. You get what I'm saying? We as pioneers have to grasp the opportunity we have and use it wisely. And Pi is all about time. So you make sure you use your time wisely. Now, the future of Pi, like I said, a lot of people talk about the value or the price of Pi. The price of Pi is not necessary as opposed to the stability of Pi. So what we need to do is to maintain a stable economy. And how do you do that? By making sure that in the enclosed network, the firewalled mainnet, what we need to do is to ensure that we exchange goods and services, you know, between pioneer to pioneer or app to pioneer, and so on and so forth. You know, so when we do that, we would actually realize how fruitful our economy is. You understand? And once we get to know that, the transition from enclosed network to the open network, which I call the mainnet, will be smoother. And therefore, beforehand, we will be able to have a consensus on the value, potentially what we call the price of Pi. Now, when we have that, we will be a break, because our economy has a great foundation, and I believe the foundation is going to be strong and stable. And once we have that, we will be untouchable and we will be unstoppable. You get what I'm saying? So the future of Pi, to me, looks extremely great. It looks bright. It looks promising. So all of those, the very minute minority that say Pi is a scam, listen, you're going to swallow your words very soon. Maybe you're already swallowing it as I speak. Do you know what I'm saying? So I personally, talking about the future of Pi, I can only conclude in the next segment, of course, and tell you a few things and ensure that you guys, ladies, are in tune with the Pi ecosystem. I'll be right back. So what have I spoken about? You know, I've spoken about a lot of things, but what I can tell you right now is Pi, what can I even say? Pi has become a phenomenon that hasn't even gained ground yet. Most people are talking about it. The so-called whales who buy bigger shares in certain cryptocurrencies are talking about it because they're waiting. Do you know what I mean? Bitcoin has realized that there's going to be a threat in the horizon in the name of pi. You get what I'm saying? So we as pioneers need to use our economy wisely. We need to utilize our economy wisely. If we don't know how to do it, let's get some tutorial from people that have knowledge. You get what I'm saying? So you would understand how this whole thing works. Do you get me? So I spoke about obviously the revolution of money, which is cryptocurrency, which is the pioneer of cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin. And then of course I also spoke about the first ever mobile cryptocurrency, which is which one? Pi. Pi is, or Pi network, as the network is the first ever. All the other ones are copycats, and you know that. So I spoke about that, of course, and the journey of Pi, where it's come from, where it started, the humble beginnings, and where we are right now, and where we'll be going, which leads me to the future. Spoke about the future of Pi, how we can maintain our economy within the enclosed network, which will transition to the open network when we're able to come to a consensus to maintain the value, albeit, or in other words, the price of Pi. Now we can do that. So once we get into the open network, which I call the mainnet, the price of Pi will be steady, stable, and willing to defeat any competition. Do you understand? So we have a brighter future, and I can tell you that I am up for it. I am up for the ride. Okay? The name is Ray. The channel is Ray's United, and the word is peace.